Boys, is my mic working?
Can hear you, bro.
Do you guys want to start?
Alright, let's
Yes,
start.
sir.
Let's start. Let's start. Welcome to our first ever episode of 7:30 Lectures. We hope you're able to catch our intro episode released last week.
We are 730 Lectures, an independent media production for college students by college students. And you guys can find us on three main platforms. The main one, your favorite podcast apps, YouTube for video highlights, and of course, our blog, 730lectures.com.
So I'm your favorite host, Zachary C, hailing from Metro Manila.
Favorite? Oh, I'm the other host, Emilio
Favorite?
Aquino.
Okay.
Also
Okay.
in Metro, not the favorite.
Whatever, guys. I'm the best host, though. And I'm Renan chilling at New Jersey.
Why don't we kick off this episode by explaining the title?
Not gonna lie though, it's a great title. I take my laptop
Right.
and go home
That's
because of
nice.
COVID-19. And I guess it really captures the experience of regular college students, especially with regards to dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic.
Whatever, man.
Okay,
Title's
okay.
whack.
Other than that, though, yeah, you're right. As of the time we're recording this podcast, do the quick maths, and it's currently the 91st day since COVID hit the shores of the Philippines. And I guess scrolling through your Twitter feed or probably reading the news, it probably just shows a lot of facts and statistics about the virus and how it affects us as citizens of this country and as part of the world. But I guess today we're mostly here to look at how it affects us as students here and abroad.
That was so eloquent, dude. I could have mistaken you as like a news anchor, Fox News or CNN, something like that. I swear.
So Fox
Intern-
News and
intern is
CNN,
out.
wait for my intern application, please.
You did touch upon something though, like with all these facts and statistics. I did notice though, like college students, we don't really get that much coverage about it.
Why I guess here at 730 Lectures, we aim to give a more personal angle and something that students will be able to relate to on a personal level.
How have
Okay.
you been personally affected?
So I guess it was like 3 days before spring break, right? Like I was dismissed out of my science class, and literally everyone was waiting for the news that they wanted to hear, where school will move to online. At that point, I guess everyone wanted school to be online, and we've all seen the news of those Ivy League schools, right, kicking people out of their dorms. Fortunately for me, and you too, right? We weren't kicked out of our dorms though.
All my stuff are still in my dorm. Because like for St. John's, they kicked us out and they told us that we'd come back to school like 2 weeks after. So I was like, I'd go back to school 2 weeks afterwards. So I might as well leave most of my stuff. Little did I know that, wow, they're just gonna full on move school online. So, but I hear the
It's a
situation
bummer,
is pretty
dude.
different back home.
Yeah, actually, in the Philippines, it's pretty different, especially in Ateneo. Our semester is basically over. I mean, officially, the semester will be ending on May 8th, but all students in Ateneo will be receiving a passing mark for all their subjects this semester. Yeah, so it's an
Yo, that's
automatic
tough.
pass,
That's
and
tough.
and
Oh,
and,
wow,
and
okay.
that doesn't apply to the people who would normally cut their classes. Aside from that, Ateneo will also be giving a 20,000 peso refund to all of it too. So I think that's around $400, and that will be coming in the form of tuition credit for the next semester for non-graduating students. So yeah, it's
Dude.
pretty
Okay,
generous.
that's really in
Ateneo's
depth.
pretty generous.
That's really in
about
depth.
It's
this
like you're
stuff.
reading
Thank you
off
for
the
reading
circular.
us the Ateneo Circular.
Ateneo circular.
Iyo, isn't that like a pretty isolated case, like Ateneo?
Yeah.
Like what the admin's been doing? Because I read on the internet somewhere around like all the major universities in the Philippines, they haven't taken the same route as Ateneo,
Yeah, no,
right?
yeah.
I miss my friends. You, Zach, you're my friend, man. I miss you.
Oh,
but I also
okay.
miss.
Okay,
I
thanks for
also-
emphasizing on that.
I also miss food, guys.
Same,
Quick,
I miss food.
quick,
so
quick,
much.
quick. Food you're craving for
Yeah.
right now. Iyo.
My poke bowl, bro.
Are you
Sisig.
Iyo?
Oh, I'm just saying. Oh my.
Hi,
Okay.
Iyo.
I'm just saying.
For me, I like Manam Sisig. That's
Yo, I've been missing Korean barbecue. Like,
Same, dude.
man, I miss
Same.
Korean
Same.
barbecue. When's the last time you guys went out?
March 9, guys. March 9.
Wow.
I haven't been out ever since I arrived back home.
For real?
Yeah, so that's probably like a month and a half, maybe.
Damn, I guess I'm the only
Wow.
one like different among you guys. Because
Make
I
kwento,
actually,
what have you been doing?
like a few days ago, I went to Home Depot. Like we got some wood.
Home
Like,
Depot.
they were really practicing social distancing, and they were making sure that only like a certain amount of people could go inside the store.
Yeah,
People
yeah,
like
yeah.
really had to like 6 meters or something like that. Wow, people really take social distancing seriously, and I think that's a good thing. Like it's one of the
Yeah,
steps we need
that's
to
right.
take if we want to combat this COVID-19. What about the Philippines though? Like, what are the measures taken there? Because I heard like there's this really one cool dude named Vico Soto.
He's our
You're-
mayor. He was
Uh,
just elected into office last May. And he's pretty popular. I mean, people like him because he doesn't seem like the type to be super ambitious with his own political career. People like him because of his very efficient implementation of policies and his very compassionate policies. Like, I think he was one of the only mayors that allowed tricycles to run during the pandemic without compromising social distancing. He also implemented a barangay coding policy wherein certain people from different barangays can
Oh, that's cool.
travel
Yeah.
during certain
Go
days.
out.
So, for example,
Cool.
my barangay can only have its citizens go out on Wednesdays and Saturdays. We have another measure to really keep the streets as empty as possible. He also introduced a lot of innovations like a mobile palengke and all that stuff. So, yeah,
Dope.
he's really solid. Yeah, he
Yeah.
knows what the
I
people
guess.
need.
Dude, so in New York, like they were documenting how there was a protest. Not just New York,
Yeah.
actually. Like there was like Minnesota, Michigan. It was crazy. Like people were protesting about how, oh, I want my haircut. Oh, I want my foot massage. Like,
I
what
guess
in,
it
People need to
stems from the
chill,
US's more liberal spirit as well.
what
These
was
are
like?
Trump
I was
supporters,
scratching.
yeah.
I was scratching. Hey, we're not political here. We're not political here. Let's talk about some good vibe stuff. What have you guys been doing?
I've been trying my best to do as much workouts as possible at home amidst having very limited resources. I have some weights here, but obviously to only rely on that is like not enough. You need to do other workouts. So I've also been doing calisthenic workouts that primarily use your body weight. That entails
Yeah.
doing push-ups, incline push-ups, sit-ups, calf raises, leg
Very in
raises.
depth.
Those are ways to really cope with the lack of gyms open right now. I don't think though you'll be able to see as much progress as you want because you probably need heavier weights for that. But
Yeah.
nonetheless, those are really workouts for you to stay fit and healthy during quarantine.
Comment on the
fun, and-
video if you want to see EO's workout videos.
You low-key touched on like this contrast about reflection and staying productive because there's this thing going around on social media about how
Yeah.
one camp says now that you have all the time in the world, you should have like a new skill or you should be super productive, you should be reading up on these different books. Another
Yeah.
camp says, oh, but this is a pandemic, like this is a really new situation for almost everyone basically, so you should take the time to reflect, self-care, push yourself too much.
I mean,
I
I
feel like
guess-
you need to balance it out because like I have school, so that's like the productive part, but at the same time, man, like I'm not gonna lie, I've been watching a lot of K-dramas, you feel me?
Renan.
So-
Crash
Okay, but
landing
yeah,
on you.
Man, something in the rain.
But I guess you're right though. It's mostly about balance and about your personal preference, right? You should be able to balance your state of mind and the things that you want to do. Maybe it's a lot of time for you to be able to achieve what you've always wanted to do. I mean, I guess speaking from our own perspective, we wouldn't have started STL without
That's
this
true.
ECQ.
That's
If this
facts.
ECQ didn't send us back home though, like for one, I'd be back in the US. But regardless, I guess you really get to realize the things that you can live without as this
That's
ECQ
true.
progresses on.
And I guess for me, like it really depends on your own context because at least for us, we're not really in a vulnerable position since we aren't really directly affected by COVID-19 or the economic hardship and all that stuff. And so for us, it's easier to stay productive and to balance that and self-care. But for other people
Yeah.
or in
Yeah.
other different situations, like some people actually have the virus or have family members that have the virus, or some people just can't afford to study online. That I think that's why Ateneo cut classes for the
Mhm.
semester. And so I guess it's really finding your priority between self-care and productivity. It's really a matter of your context as well.
It's like knowing
I
your
guess-
privilege and then
In a more general context though, like everyone needs to be more compassionate
Yeah,
and be
that's
able to be
true.
more understanding towards others and towards our situation today.
And I guess people need to be a little more pragmatic in the sense that if you know you have the power or the privilege to do certain things, like to be productive or by extension actually help other people, then you
Mhm.
should use that power to, actually help people. As much as possible, try to exhaust everything you have. If you can't exhaust it because you're struggling, you have a special case, then don't pressure yourself to stay productive. Like, focus on yourself. But then if you're not really worrying
Mhm.
about anything, it's always the better option to do as much as you can and help.
this man's really just had the entire lecture.
I guess that's all we got today though. I gotta get back to writing that entrep paper.
I got this freaking philosophy paper, bro.
And I gotta catch up on my Netflix binging of How I Met Your Mother.
Okay, Okay, compare that with our thing.
Yeah,
But yeah, I guess so too. I
Yeah,
guess
whatever,
so too.
man. Thank you for tuning in to 730 Lectures. We really hope you enjoyed this, and please continue to stay safe out there.
Yeah, and we continue to pray and encourage the frontliners out there, and as we salute their service to our world.
Yeah, and we all hope that you continue to practice social distancing.
Stay in your house, okay? You don't need to get a haircut right now, except for you,
You don't
Zach.
need to rally.
That's why I have a hairband.
It's okay, you're still handsome, Zach.
Thank you for flooding me with such compliments.
Anyway, so this is 730 Lectures. Thank you.